all at all. Our first guest speaker. Where is he? Dr. Ramzy. Yes, there he is. I would like to welcome Dr. Ramzy from Palestine Chronicle.
Thank you very much, Fadwa. Thank you, everyone. I just want to start by saying the term celebration, when we talk about celebration, I think there is indeed a lot to celebrate. How do you talk about Gaza, a genocide, a state of extermination of the Palestinian people, and yet the word celebration at the same time and in the same sentence? But indeed, I think there is much to celebrate. We celebrate the sumud of the Palestinian people. We celebrate their resilience, and yes, dare I say, we celebrate their resistance in all of its forms. We celebrate their courage. We celebrate their history. We celebrate their culture. But we also celebrate our solidarity with Gaza. You see, for years they have been telling us that Palestine doesn't matter. Gaza doesn't matter. All that matters is whatever plans the Americans and the Israelis and the corrupt Arabs have for the Middle East, and that plan does not include Gaza and does not include the Palestinians, but Gaza proved them wrong. The resisting Arabs of Yemen and Lebanon and Iraq and elsewhere have proved them wrong. You may be poor, isolated, supposedly geopolitically non-important. You don't matter to Trump and Jared Kushner and Biden and Blinken and all the rest. You're a footnote in the history of the American empire in the Middle East, yet that footnote suddenly is the central character of the history of that region. Time and time again, it has been proven that there can never be so-called stability or so-called peace or a peace process without the Palestinian people. We remain the most important factor in the history of the Middle East, and there can never be real peace or stability without Gaza, without Palestine. And that, my friends and comrades and sisters and brothers, is worth celebrating. In Gaza, they celebrate as we speak. Yes, they celebrate. They get married in UN shelters, and they celebrate new lives even when they are dying in their hundreds. And they're not trying to send us emotional or sentimental messages. They don't even have internet. They cannot even communicate with the rest of the world. They don't know. I have my sister calling me from Khan Yunis to ask me about her sons in Dar al-Balah because she cannot communicate with them. So they have no idea what is happening outside in the world right now, but they continue to celebrate who they are as a people. Gaza is rooted in history. Gaza was not placed on the history books because of what Israel has decided to do to Gaza. I think this is very important. The Zionists did not put Palestinians on the map. Palestine has always been on the map. There has always been a currency called the Gaza shekel. 2,000 years ago, there was a currency that belonged to the Palestinian people in Gaza. We have known who we are, and we are rooted in history before Mr. Herzl has decided to start the Zionist movement and impose the will of the most racist elements of Europe on the Palestinian people. What is happening in Gaza is a reset button to history. We are going back to the very, very beginning. And we're not going to talk about the 1967 and the Oslo peace process and all of that and Fatah versus Hamas. No. We are going to talk about the Nakba of the Palestinian people, the original sin of the racist Zionist endeavor in Palestine. We are going to talk about the refugees We are going to deal with all the issues that we have been told for many years that it is too radical to speak about these issues. Because you see, Palestinians are made of two groups of people. The radicals, the crazies, who talk about Nakba and right of return and respecting international law, and the moderates, who are willing, they have a price, and whatever that price is, they are willing to go with the flow. Well, let's all be radical, because the time now calls for it. We are not just talking about few Palestinians getting killed here and there. According to Lancet magazine, it is possible that 186,000 Palestinians in Gaza have been killed since the start of the war, because as a direct result, but also indirect results of the war. We are talking about outright extermination of the Palestinian people. This is your chance to take that stance. You can't come after all of this and try to develop a moral position regarding what's happening in Gaza. That moral position is now. In history, sometimes there are these moments where when you come belatedly to take a stance regarding this genocide or that Holocaust, it might be a case of too little, too late. In the case of Gaza, you speak out now. You take a stance now. You put pressures on your representatives now. You confront mainstream corporate media now. You develop your own alternative channels now, and they block you everywhere. Go to the street, go to the park with a Palestinian flag, with a few flyers, and teach people who are passing by. Take that stance. Raise that flag. Raise your voice. People tell me, what can we do? We are desperate. What do we do? I say, you know what? Charity is important. Supporting organizations are important. Standing by Gaza in every possible way is important. But most importantly, speak out. Speak out, because if you don't say it now, when will it matter? This is why we are here, and this is what we are celebrating, and we are going to continue to celebrate. We will celebrate the fact that we have proven that there is no such thing as a military solution to the Palestinians. We have taught Israel that there is a limit to all of these weapons and all these intelligence informations and all these drones and all these technologies, all of these death machines. There is a limit. You can't break us. We are unbreakable. The Gazans have been fighting for years and years and years, in fact for thousands of years. If you look at Gaza's history, it's absolutely fascinating. We have fought against Alexander the Great. Did you know that? 3 months he put a siege on Gaza, trying to break Gaza. Alexander the Macedonian with his entire army for 3 months could not break Gaza. The Romans and the Byzantines and everybody else. We are a tough nation. We are strong people. We have not been put on this earth to be victims. We are not victims, then don't see us as victims. We are not charity cases. Don't see us as charity cases. See us as fighting, proud, free people, and stand by us. We deserve that. We've earned that. Because at the end of the day, freedom is a universal cause. If Israel gets away with genocide, there will be other genocides in that region and everywhere else, because it will be a precedent. International law will not matter to anybody anymore because there is a precedent. We can't allow this to happen. Take a stance, speak out, and celebrate Palestine, its strength, its courage, its resistance, but also the beautiful solidarity you have been putting out for 9-10 months. Please don't stop. Please continue. And by the way, when the war is over, your job is going to even be more important, more critical, because it will then be a fight over the discourse, the narrative. We will not allow Israel to take us back to the very start, demonizing Palestinians, vilifying Palestinians. Don't allow that to happen. This is the beginning of a new fight for Palestine, until Palestine is free. And inshallah, Palestine will be free. Thank you.